Hello, hello, hello. Well, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I am here literally every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Oh, hang on one second. I'm just making sure I've got the right... Yes, that's the right microphone. Okay. I'm here to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers. Thank you. You have kept us safe for years, literally years, and thank you for that. And because of that, we have been able to build this fantastic community. Thank you. Thank you for being so kind to each other, so kind to me. Patreon last night was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. We had a fantastic discussion, and it happens on the last Saturday of every month in the evening. It was great. Thank you. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a slightly higher speed, or whatever works best for you. So it's Sunday, and just having, in one respect, trying to be a little bit more relaxed. Sundays are traditionally Sarah's day off, so I don't have any help at all in anything on Sundays. So alas, here we are. Plus, we all need to relax, at least a little bit. That doesn't mean that there isn't stuff to read on, because holy buckets, and I looked some stuff up, because I really think you need to know some stuff that I don't think is getting, might be getting a little attention, but I don't think it's getting enough. So, all right. Also, technical issues. The splitter, I told you the splitter was broken, so I can have a mouse or a microphone, but I can't have both. The splitter should be arriving today. So hopefully tomorrow things will be better. Okay. Onwards. I'm not going to do it on today's episode, because we're going to just jump in with both feet. Okay. 2 minutes. And we have a graphic today. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Okay. I don't think this is getting quite enough attention. There has been a huge decline at the Port of Los Angeles. It takes anywhere from like it takes ballpark 25 days to move cargo ships from, say, Shanghai to Los Angeles. And I saw someone who was showing, apparently there's a website, in the same way you can go look at where various planes are. There's a site called findavessel.com. And so you can see a map of where all these different vessels are in the ocean around the world. And I thought, oh, come on, that can't be real. So I went and I found it. And I'm going to share. Okay, so let me go here. Like I said, I am without a mouse today, so I need to turn that off, and then I can share this. Okay, it might be a little hard to tell, but basically that is Shanghai, and that is the shipping around Shanghai. I believe yellow vessels are like shipping container type thing. I'm not certain, but just in general, that's as of last night, that's what it looked like around Shanghai and their port, and the port in Shanghai. Okay. All right. For whatever that means. But here's the thing. If I go here and I hit this button, currently, or at least of last night, whoops, do you go right? Sorry, it's not listening to me. No. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. Can I hit that? No. There. That's Los Angeles. That's Shanghai. That's Los Angeles. So I thought, okay, well, we'll zoom out. So, okay, this is the whole West Coast. And not zoomed out quite that much. That's the whole area. So, yeah. Los Angeles, Shanghai, according to vesselfinder.com. It wasn't find a vessel, it was vesselfinder.com. So, since nobody else is really showing that, I thought you would want to see it. Are you going to close? Okay, can I come back here? I literally might need to unplug my microphone for a minute. Yeah, I've got to unplug my microphone. I'm sorry. Hang on one second. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Sorry, I literally couldn't get back to this tab. I don't know why. That was very strange. All right, but now I think we're okay. So that was hard. Apparently, Walmart and Target, whatnot, actually went to the White House to have a little chit chat with the president dumpster. And yes, trucking loads are down. So we're going to start with a huge decline at the Port of Los Angeles. And in addition to a coinciding drop-off at other West Coast ports like Long Beach and Seattle. Truckers in other cities where vessels take longer to arrive from Asia will see deliveries drying up. So will the trucking industry recover, or will this create longer-term damage? Well, let's have a look at the port, and then we'll look at trucking. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around the pictures of the shipping. It's like, oh, come on, it's maybe it's normally not that many. I mean, but it's just everything I'm reading. All the people who follow this industry, they're like, no, this is huge. There were oh gosh, I can't access my stuff. I want to say it was on Fortune. Anyway, there was a drop of vessels there. Okay, I want to say in the port of Los Angeles, that there were 3 numbers, and it was basically cargo vessels, the number of cargo vessels expected over like the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then the following 1 or 2 weeks, and then the following 1 or 2 weeks. And the number went from like 116,000 to 84,000. No, 86,000 to 74,000 or something, or 77,000. That was it. It was 116, 84, and 77,000. Just over the next few weeks. That feels like homegrown, locally sourced stuff, which is where we're going. least for now. There isn't a lot we can do other than try to support each other. This does feel like MAGA hurting too. And it's here. I'm not saying this is doing, making other countries just, it's the best thing that ever happened to them. But the number one country that is suffering right now is this one, is the US, because of President Dumpster Fire. Moving your stuff, and he gets in the way. The only major arcana here is us. That's it. Because even if, I don't know, he had a brain transplant and he fixed things today, it takes ballpark 25 days. So things aren't going out there. There are more and more empty cargo containers being repositioned. So more ships just moving empty cargo containers because there aren't enough goods coming this way. So we just need, I'm not trying to doom and gloom you, because I think we are going to get through this. I don't think enough people are talking about this, that it's like, okay, then just be aware and just know, okay, we'll just take a step back. We'll channel our inner survival, our inner Great Depression, home front, way of doing, and we'll make it through. Oh, Debsy, I love that. A list of cat food made in the U.S. at allamerican.org lists cat food. I will definitely have to dig that out. All American. I don't have a piece of paper handy. Could someone possibly remind me about that link before I leave today? I want to make sure I put that down in the description box. Thank you. So, yeah, this is us working together. We'll have less of a carbon footprint. Maybe, I don't know, trying to look for some good. I do think, yeah, we know whose fault this is. And I don't think you need to know a whole lot about tarot cards to know when it starts out with a death card. And this is a card of a lot, doing a lot. And wands tend to be MAGA. So all of this stupidity is causing harm. In the center, happy families. If you are rolling with it, if you are aware, if you're not being blindsided, if you are trying to think things through calmly. Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. So MAGA is going to support Trump's stupidity no matter what he says. Hello, lemmings. This Knight of Pentacles, this is because next we're going to ask about Walmart and Target and what have you, going to him and saying, excuse you. This is also other Republicans who are concerned about their own reelections. We're going to get through this, but there's going to be a dip. There's going to be a time period. And Lisa K says, anybody who has a pet on a prescription diet, I would order now if you can. There seems to be a delay with Hills. Okay, thank you. Oh, Amy, thank you. Thank you so much. That makes a huge difference. We may not have imported goods, but we have each other. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. Okay, just make sure this is showing correctly. Def says medication ingredients come from China. Yeah. So we're just gonna take it slow, and we're gonna breathe, and we're gonna get through this. And this is absolutely not a time to panic. Seriously, it is not. This is where we go, because we are Democrats. We go cool and collected, and we're going to go practical and find answers, sources. We're going to share information. It's on the other side that they yell and scream and throw tantrums and you know, not saying that any of you would throw a tantrum. I'm just saying they're just loud and panicky and all of that on their side, because it seems they think it benefits them, but we know better. That's why they say we have no that we have no fight in us, and they complain that we're too wussy. No, we understand daily life. Donald Trump has no idea what it's like to do the fill up a dishwasher and do the hand washing, or just do the hand washing because you don't have a dishwasher. He hasn't got a clue, but we do. So, all right. Truckers at specifically at 17 minutes in. Okay, let's have a look at that. Save. Oh, yes, Teresa Wilson says, a good indicator of the economy is women not getting their hair dyed. Roots shall now be in vogue. Yes, it's called, isn't it called, is it tariff blonde? Recession blonde, something like that. It's people who have had blonde hair, and it's how long the natural colored roots are. That's what they're calling. So. So, truckers. Truckers are used to pretty hard times. It's not like truckers have never gone through their budget with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, Queen of Wands, yeah, they're out of the MAGA, the people in Washington, they are so out of touch, completely out of touch, but they're going to support Trump, whereas we're going to support each other as much as we can. This is us sticking together as much as we can, because we have an out-of-touch idiot in the White House. I'm sorry, we just do. And so things are going to be lean. At least for a while. Now, I wish I had better news. I wish I could say, but we're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it, so we'll get through it. Okay. Bernie Wright, I'm so sorry. Bernie Wright says Redken hair dye, along with other Redken products, is manufactured in Canada, specifically at L'Oreal Canada's plant in the Saint Laurent borough of Montreal. This facility focuses on producing hair something, I'm guessing hair products. Yeah. All right. So the next question at 19 minutes, 45 seconds in. So Walmart and Target went to the White House and said, excuse you, we are going to have empty shelves within the next 2 or 3 weeks because of this stupidity. The question is, will the man who has never gone grocery shopping in his life, who thought you needed an ID to buy a loaf of bread, is he actually going to reverse on these tariffs? Or because if he says he's going to, I don't believe anything he says. You can't believe anything he says. And all this, the ridiculous talk in the media about, oh, well, he backed off the tariffs and now everything is fine. No, the base tariffs are still there. So Lewis says, and they threw tons of money at him. Oh, that's right, they did. They did. Thank you. Thank you, Lewis. Yes, God King Tony Clifton. Yes, it was such an old-fashioned word. Groceries. Amy Sanders says Christmas toys are going to be an issue. Yeah. And with Joanne Fabrics having gone out of business across the country, it's not going to be as easy to make things for Christmas presents. But maybe it's a good thing that so many people are what Sarah calls sable. Crafting supplies above oh gosh, I can't remember it. What's the B? But the L and the E at the end are beyond life expectancy. That is stash acquired beyond life expectancy. That was it. So, because she jokes, she's sable. You know, crafting supplies acquired beyond life expectancy, which she's currently actually going through, and she's going to be setting up a stall at a convention in August. So she's working really hard to make all kinds of fun stuff that she's going to sell there. So anyway, okay. Business people saying, this is a card for the reading. Business people, the card beneath that is judging. Hey, you. Queen of Swords, these are the executive orders, and Congress, the Republicans in Congress just caving. And those Republicans in Congress, they are worried. Hanged Man is right in the center. And then I have the Knight of Cups. So I think, great, that means that maybe this is when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, does this mean that the tariffs will be suspended? Because you've got the Knight of Cups there, which would be the Democrats actively. No, it's Trump's victory at the end. Wayne Rich says he won't reverse anything unless it benefits him. Absolutely. Deb says, I'm sable, yarn, fabric, watercolor supplies. Start at the top, you'll work your way through. This victory card to me says there might be some improvement, but ultimately he has to save face. So his narcissism, I really, really have trouble believing. And this isn't the cards. This is just me, just my logic, what knowledge I have of narcissism. I really have trouble believing that his narcissism will allow him to get rid of all of the tariffs, because it would be an admission of guilt, not guilt, of the admission that he was wrong. So Lewis says, which one of his faces? That's true. All right, so let's move on to just be sensible, but seriously, breathe. If you take twice as long to breathe out as you do to breathe in, it signals to your nervous system to calm it down. Okay, so And that's why people, like when they panic, when they're deep sea diving, when they're panicked, they will do particular breathing, and it's breathe in, and then it's breathe out. And do that just a few times. Breathe in. Okay. Knowledge is your friend, and your friends are your friends. All right. At 25:30, oh, Pam Bondi. Whew. Thought I recognized your foul stench. AG Pam Bondi approved and publicly hyped the arrest of a Wisconsin judge for allegedly protecting an immigrant from ICE. Legal experts, including former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance, say the arrest violates DOJ policy and is unlikely to result in conviction. Will Pam Bondi face legal consequences? Okay, we will look at that. Yesterday on the House Sparks radio program, he was talking about this, and he's very annoyed because basically the judge didn't make a public stand. The judge let the defendant and his lawyer leave through the back chambers. ICE didn't have a warrant signed by a judge. They had an administrative warrant, and no. But the man that the judge let go out the back door or the side door is not a nice person. This is not, an adorable cherubic child. No, this is someone who beat the heck out of a couple of people. And so Hal was just beside himself and went on for quite a long time about it because he was upset that the right is going to use this as an excuse, that they are going to paint this as all judges who defy ICE are like this and they're protecting these violent, et cetera, et cetera. Personally, I think because so much of what happens is with low information voters, ICE arrests judge. That has power. That strikes a nerve with, I think, the average American. So the details of it, if they don't like the details, if this was some innocent cherubic, perfect human being, perfect child, innocent, if it was no matter what, they would make things up because we've already seen them do it. So I'm not saying I disagree with Hal. It's just I think in this case he's giving the other side too much credit. And I do think that a headline, that simple headline, does hit a nerve. And we know we're news junkies. We're all over the news every day. A lot of people aren't. So, but AG Pam Bondi approved and publicly hyped this arrest. And will Pam Bondi face any consequences? Is that a cold chill that just ran through the room? Well, this was not a good idea. This aggression. So you're going to get pushback. And also a simple matter that all of these people, they are shipping out of the country to a gulag or just shipping out of the country without due process is a big no. Knight of Cups. When Democrats gain more power, they will do something about this, but it's not going to change many minds. We're going into a hard summer. We just are. It's a good summer to, grow a couple of vegetables if you can, maybe in an old bucket if you have nothing else. Grow some tomatoes. This is a good summer to read books. Maybe you have a to be read pile you haven't gotten around to. It's a good summer to clear the shelves by using things up, by mending. I'm working my way through the old shadow radio programs, which I found a playlist here on YouTube. And we don't have all of the shadow radio episodes. There have been some that have been lost, but most of them are there. So I'm working out a list, and I like those radio. One, I just like those radio programs, but I also like them because I can listen while I'm doing chores, while I'm mending, while I'm cleaning, while I'm trying to work out my garden or what have you. Those kind of those old radio programs are really good for leaving you hands-free to do stuff. So, and it's going to be that kind of summer. Yeah. Deborah says, plant right in a bag of dirt. You can do that too. Joyce says, I'm starting my seedlings today. So am I. It is the new moon. It's a great day to start your seedlings. I should have started last month, but here we are. So, I'm sorry, Miss Gibson. I'm sorry. Teresa says, I'm going to crochet. With my frustration, everything in my house will be wearing a sweater by the end of summer. I love that. Yeah, this will have a nice cozy around it. So will the phone all the way around. You won't be able to hear anything in the microphone. It'll all be... Everything from the microphone will be muffled because it will have its own sweater. I don't know, Sherry. Actually, I think where are they getting the grand jury? That would be a Google question, I'm afraid. So, Amy says toaster covers. Wonder how Boo Boo feels about a new sweater. My cats will not. You can't put anything on them. They have trouble with, even wearing a collar. You cannot put any clothes on them. So, okay. Sharon says, my craft stash is sable. There you go. All right, 30. Is Pam Bondi going to end up being facing legal consequences? I'm just not getting... Hang on, let me double check, but eventually they're going to, again, I got this. They're eventually, but for right now, there's not much going on there. Eventually, when Democrats get more power. So, okay. MS says apparel on cats is way below their dignity. Oh, absolutely. Oh, AJ says I crocheted a bandana for my pup yesterday. She looks adorable. Oh. Amy says a boo-boo hat with ear holes. Oh, he would hate me. All right. So, speaking of breaking the law, 3430, a leaked DOJ memo. Ready for this one? A leaked DOJ memo shows that the dumpster fire administration ordered ICE agents to invade homes without warrants. No. targeting immigrants without criminal records and sending them to a brutal prison in El Salvador. Will lawsuits like the ACLU's succeed in stopping this? Thank you, Sherry. Deborah says, I just got 2 sewing machines, wood-burning tools, and beads galore. There we go. Hey, Anne. Yes. Lois, Gestapo much? Yeah. Oh, fantastic, Wayne. I used to transfer old radio programs and audiobooks for a tape duplication facility. Ah, okay. Great. Okay. So, yeah, can we stop the DOJ from... Can we stop ICE agents from invading homes without warrants? Okay, thanks. Cindy says Hispanic people are going to have to hide in attics. So sorry. I don't know what that was. But sorry. But Hal talked about that yesterday as well. About, because some people were saying, you have to start hiding people in attics, and he was saying, but this person was so brutal and awful that you lose sympathy. So Hal was having a hard day, and I understand. So yeah, just ship them off. Fools burdened by just awful policies, crushed under these policies, all this aggressiveness. That is the plan. I'm getting people voting. I'm getting people on a very human level making legal decisions, but also voting. And it feels very grounded. I would much prefer to see some major arcana there. Joyce, that would be a Google question. Sorry. Cindy says, can Canada take them as unwanted people in the U.S. seeking asylum? I don't know. I think they were trying to pull something together, but there was a big, like, was it at least a 3-month block on letting Americans into Canada after a dumpster was inaugurated? Tepsy says, I used to put doll dresses on my cats when I was younger. My current cats would shred me if I even looked at them thinking about it. Yes. ACLU is doing yeoman's work. Bless them. This feels like a lot of pro bono work from all kinds of to try to sort this absolute chaos out. Sherry, I can see what you're posting. It's okay. Yeah, it is illegal. We know. It's okay. I understand. Take a breath. We're okay. It is wrong. It is illegal. And Dumpy's been complaining that, yeah, this is misuse of resources against these poor people, and we are disappointed in this situation. You almost need specific states going after this, because there are blue states who can do something about it now, Whereas for federal, we have to wait until there are Democrats in power, because any federal charges, the dumpster can just pardon. So, exactly. Cindy says, yes, it's illegal, but once they're smuggled out of the country, then what? Mm-hmm. They took over 250 men illegally. They're still sitting in prison. Mm-hmm. Yep. So hopefully some states, come on, blue states, you're going to step up. But going after ICE agents, federal agency of an individual state going after ICE agents, that could be, but it might work. Card for the reading's the Emperor. So he does, we've Lord High muckety muck dumpster fire. But here's suspension there on weak ground. That feels like states could put an end to this and say, no, you are on shaky ground. And wouldn't that be great if blue states start arresting these ICE officers? I think I have a new question to read on. 4130. Well, blue states start arresting ICE officers who are breaking the law. Save. Ms. Gibson says, I thought the Constitution would not allow the states to do that. I do not know. Please enlighten me. I'm always trying to learn. Nettie, I did not see what the judge said about ICE in that case, which I believe is here. It's in the list somewhere here. But I know it's a bad situation. So, all right, blue states. I feel like that could get ugly very fast. Sneeple says, can't do what, arrest ICE agents? There's a discussion going on in the chat about whether that's even possible. Well, okay, but here's what it comes down to. Federal law is supposed to supersede state law. However, our separation of powers is, yes, it's the whole executive, judicial, congressional, but it's also federal versus state. And they keep talking about states' rights. And it's like, I'm sorry, you just broke into someone's home without a warrant. I don't care who you are. Because Trump thinking he can do whatever he wants, and it just how corrupt and awful it is. The federal government saying you can, the federal government, they're acting, but this is the judicial situation. These are people who are just living their lives. I'm not getting an answer. I'm probably missing something. Like maybe it's not possible, or there's something I'm missing, because I'm getting like, yes, this is the situation. And Kay says, I guess they'll have to break down the door since I never answer it. I don't either. I just don't. Ms. Gibson says, according to Google, it says that no state to go against the Constitution, Article, is that 6th of the U.S. Constitution, established to federal law. I'm afraid I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Hope's asking, maybe ask the question in a different way. Okay. How about less specific? Will states stop these federal actions? Maybe. Cindy Poole says California law states that ICE agents are still subject to state and local laws and can be arrested for criminal offenses they commit just like any other individual. There we go. Thank you. Cindy says it varies state to state. Ms. Gibson says it's called the Supremacy Clause, which would, in theory, protect them. Well, maybe that's why I'm not getting an answer. I'm asking for something that's impossible. Bernie Rice says, yes, they can. Okay. You get some very, very blue states, and you end up with some Supreme Court, big, huge movement, suspension of activities, use of resources, bigly, massive, big deal. So that might be where we're headed. But I think it would end up in the Supreme Court. So, okay. Nettie says it depends on each state's laws. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. We'll have to keep working on the information on that one. Okay. At 47:40. You know what? I'm gonna go down to this one because we need something a little lighter. 47:50. We love Lawrence O'Donnell around here. Lawrence O'Donnell said the latest poll numbers show that Trump voters are starting to turn against him after weeks of economic turmoil. Now? Took you this long? Okay. Trump's overall approval rating has plunged, especially regarding the economy, formerly his strongest issue. Will Trump's slipping approval cause GOP lawmakers to abandon him as the 2026 election approaches? And that's going to be the kicker. It's going to be going into the midterms, and the people in Congress who've been sitting on their hands saying, ruh-roh. So, yeah. Lady Eva says, talk about being slow in the uptake. Yeah. We told you this would happen. We told you this a long time ago. Anyway. Okay. So, will GOP lawmakers start to abandon the President Dumpster, the dumpster fire administration? Now, I'll tell you one thing. The occasional article I'm seeing that's talking about a huge Democratic blowout in the midterms fooled us twice already with Hillary and with Harris. I'm taking nothing for granted, and any article that's saying, oh, it's going to be a complete blowout for Democrat, I'm not listening. Ignore it. ignore it. Just do everything you can to get people to vote. Carolyn, thank you so much. Thank you. It really helps. Thank you. You're such a sweetheart. Oh, okay. So, hey, GOP, midterms. Depends on if they're getting enough donations. Yep. This is a shift. So the budget, whatever budget they pass, that's going to have, because it's their daily work here, and the use and misuse and change how resources are dealt with is going to make them unpopular. Well, perhaps you should go home and reflect on what you are doing. But a lot of them are in this kind of bubble. Some people are in ruby red districts, but there's also just kind of the MAGA bubble. So they think they're fine. Plus, how many times now has the media and the polling told us, oh, it's going to be a Democratic blowout? They're going to buy it too. So Amy Collins is saying when the shelves at Walmart, Home Depot start looking like Russia, MAGA holdouts will turn. Let's hope so. All right. Double checking. Poll numbers. Yeah, it's going to be about the money, the budget. And for the people who are not super, super rich, that don't have all of this, it's going to hurt them. So the problem for the Republicans is going to come from the lower economic echelons. Not that they're going to switch to be, those kind of people are going to switch to be Democrats overnight, because they've had decades of just far right radio ringing in their ears day after day after day at every building site, every farm, every, you name it, every small diner, all kinds of rural places. So it can be really hard for them to switch to our side, but they can definitely say, I've had enough of this guy. It's going to be tough. He's a cult leader. It's going to be tough. So, okay, what else have we got here? All right. All right, at 5340. Okay. 5340. Okay, DOGE could be headed for a new, more dangerous phase. Yay. As Musk steps away. First of all, Musk stepping away is just... However, the problems don't go away. And this is, again, this is hard stuff. But I'm trying to... we want to know what's going on. We want to know we're not alone, and that we're all horrified by some of this stuff. But here we've been tackling some of the big questions and possibilities, things that could happen. Here's the thing. Musk stepping back from DOGE doesn't necessarily stop DOGE. And it doesn't necessarily stop the databases that DOGE has been compiling. There are warnings that without Musk as a public face, the remaining DOGE staffers could misuse their new master database for deportations using sensitive information from the IRS and Social Security Administration, assisted by Palantir. Yay. Will public backlash or legal action stop this database from being used against any of us? So, the database is really what the question's about. I'm getting a legal back and forth. We know that these brats aren't listening to decency. They should be hemmed in, but Trump's legacy causes a lot of worry, a lot of sleepless nights, and this is swords or air signs, so information. Ace of Cups. So this is Democrats standing up against this, and there's a legal fight. So there are legal fights coming about this. These databases, these awful, intrusive, illegal, should be illegal databases. Big legal fights coming. So we're gonna get through this. Let me do a reading for us at 57, something like that. Thank you for spending this wonderful Sunday with me, so we can spend it together. Cards for us. Okay, I can't say it yet. Okay. Dempsey says it's an illusion that he's stepping away. He's going to be hiding in the background. Oh, I don't trust him. If there was any alternative, I wouldn't trust him to breathe air. Oh, thank you, Sabine. Cards for us. Message for us. Breathe, my friends. I do know we need to we're going to embrace a simple life for a while. That helps any. Well, okay. I don't want to alarm anybody. It's just there's going to be a lot of background noise. I'm getting the government. I'm getting this disaster that they've created, and this isn't the future. This is a card for the reading and the first card. So this is already here. And obviously those who have more money are more protected from what's happening. But I've got a big rise of us, of democratic beliefs, of helping each other. I've got this lovely, I love this card. This is my Saturday or Sunday at the Garden Center card. This is us. And to some extent, we have to separate out from all the chaos and just a thief card. So they're doing all of this, and all the talk about there's so much separation in the country. Sometimes we have to actually try to separate from them ourselves, to just step back, because they're running around doing what they're doing, but we're the adults in the room. We're the good people. We're the nice people. And we're still here. They can't change that. They can't get rid of all of us. They can't. There's 340 million people in this country. And only, 152 million voted? Yeah, they can't. So we're just, to some extent, in the thick of this mess. We have to be calm, be productive, do what we can, but also just bide our time. So anyway, so that is going to do it for me for today. And thank you for joining me here so we can go through the news together. So it is 1:15 p.m. here in Chicago. Boo Boo is sleeping on my bed. One of my brother-in-laws came by and he just and he ran into the bedroom and is hiding under the blanket sleeping. It's like, you know who that is. Anyway, but it's 1:16 here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. It's Sarah's day off, but I will absolutely be there trying to be productive. And I just want to encourage you. Everybody there just wants to encourage you. So I know it's called Creative Sprints, but you can work on anything. And we just want you to know that you have somewhere to go. You have companionship there. There are people, like-minded people. And we just encourage everybody, whatever they're working on. Could be cleaning your house. Doesn't matter. Okay. So I'll be over on Creative Sprints at 3. So please remember, you are not alone. We are in this together. There are good days ahead. They're out there. They really are. And I will be back here. I'll be around this afternoon over on Creative Sprints. I will be right back here tomorrow. I'm here every single day, and I have been for over 5 years. I had 2 emergencies. Other than that, for 5 years, over 5 years, I've been here every single day, and I will continue to do so with you, with an open chat. So hang in there, all right? All right. Take care, be well, and I will see you later.